All right, if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't been live in about a week because I had been on family vacation. I think we don't like to announce that before I leave, and a few people reached out to me, and sorry, I kind of had to check out a little bit. I was trying to monitor the group in the morning at night, but I had to spend some time with the kids. But I'm back, and there was a lot of good content that came up during the time I was away on vacation, which I could have done a video, but I was kind of not in the mindset. I am here today. I'm going to do one that's constantly questioned, and I'm going to just cite 3 different cases. 2 will be New Jersey specific, but 1 will be a federal case, and I think everybody's on the same page. And when you hear what I'm talking about, you'll understand that this is what I mean, and I think a lot of people are going to agree with me and when they can run a criminal history check on somebody. So basically the rules are this. When you have an investigation, or let's take a motor vehicle setting for example, at the moment that you have developed enough reasonable suspicion to believe that the vehicle you have stopped is engaged in criminal activity, and maybe gives you enough time, gives you enough authority or to call for a canine unit or ask for consent to search, namely in New Jersey, this is the time when you're allowed to run a criminal history. Now, a lot of people will object to that. You'll have people who are concerned, and a lot of times we project opinions without knowing any facts or doing any. They just off the cuff fly. We don't do that. I don't do that. Da da da. But where does that come from? So I'm going to give you some stuff that has been cited, and I'll add it into the notes here so you can read it and you can click the hyperlinks and you can see where it comes from. And I think there's a lot of people, and I'm going to implore and encourage anybody who is watching this video, if you are one of these people that runs a criminal history check when you've developed enough reasonable suspicion that the vehicle you have stopped is engaged in criminal activity, let us know if you are actually running a CCH at that time. I always did. A lot of people always do. New Jersey State Police, I know that a lot of troopers I speak with, they do that as a normal course of conduct. So the question I have for you is, why is everybody else allowed to do it, but you're not? Why is nobody getting in trouble? But you guys think you are getting in trouble, or you should get in trouble. And I understand there can be communication issues interdepartmentally with regarding using this kind of tool. You always have to verify with your agency that you can do this. Make sure they're on board. Don't go against the bosses. It is what it is. You have to have reality of where you work, and if they're encouraging this, or they're willing to listen, or your coworkers, whoever it may be, just don't do anything against the grain. I don't want to see anybody get in trouble because you saw a video here. But the truth is the truth. It's undisputed, and that's why we address it. So on a motor vehicle stop, when you have built enough reasonable suspicion, namely the same reasonable suspicion to call for a dog or ask for consent to search in the state of New Jersey, but probably the same standard everywhere else, it is okay at that junction to call your dispatch or run, if you have the technology in your car, somebody's full criminal history. A few different cases that we could talk about, and I'll give you I'll put all the stuff that I have up in the group on this post. One is the U.S. versus Fink. It comes out in 1996. I'm going to read an excerpt from it. It'll help you guys a little bit. Now, how do I know New Jersey adopts this? There's 2 cases that we can talk about. One, State versus Sloan. Another one's State versus Robinson. And they both reference Fink. So we don't have, per se, exact criminal history case law. It's just reference from the federal stuff that we have. So what does that mean? Nobody really is challenging it. The only time case law, criminal history is being challenged is because it prolonged the stop while they're waiting for a criminal history check. So that's how it's been addressed. Nobody's ever challenging the legality of a criminal history check. So I'm going to read you just an excerpt from Fink right now. It says, "We do not believe that Fink's Fourth Amendment rights were infringed when Delmore decided to wait 5 minutes for the results of the criminal history check that he had requested. We noted that there's a little authority addressing when and under what circumstances a criminal history check is permissible during a routine traffic stop. Recently, the 10th Circuit indicated that officer safety reasons such a check would be unobjectionable part of every routine traffic stop. So criminal history checks are run largely to protect the officer. Considering the tragedy of many officers who are shot during routine traffic stops each year, almost simultaneous computer check of a person's criminal record along with his or her license and registration is reasonable and hardly intrusive." Oh, jeez, I just lost that. Hold on. Let me just go back to that. I clicked it. Hold on. Sorry, guys. In some cases, the defendant who participates in conspiracy or may be deemed guilty of substantive counts of... Where was I here? How did I lose that? Son of a... Oh, I see what I did. I can't believe I lost this. Well, look, I'm going to put the wording up. I'll highlight it again. I'll add it into here. And you just take some time to read it. You can click the hyperlinks. It'll bring you to Google Scholar. It's a cool tool to use. It's scholar.google.com. It'll help you find a case law for your state. So what I would tell you to do is go to scholar.google.com, put in Fink, F-I-N-K-E, and see if you have cases in your state that reference Fink. There's also CFR, Criminal Justice Code, of the it's Code of Federal Regulations, that also talks about dissemination of criminal history records and checks like that. So I know that a lot of people, or if you want to call your state police for whatever state you're in and ask them, hey, when is it okay for us to check criminal histories? You usually have somebody in charge there, and they'll tell you, like, yeah, hey, listen, when you build up enough reasonable suspicion, as long as you're not running your ex-girlfriend's boyfriend or some shit like that, as long as it's for criminal justice purposes, you're good to go. I would just tell you that you'd have to have some kind of criminal investigation happening. You're not going to be able to run criminal histories on just a typical traffic stop for a motor vehicle violation. Remember, it has to go to a criminal level style investigation where you're suspecting criminal activity. With that being said, hopefully you guys get some value out of today's video. Yeah, man, Wayne, Scholar's a good thing. I will come back on. I have a lot of stuff to discuss over the next. I'm going to try to hit you every day. 4th of July, I will not be on here. I will be shooting fireworks off my backyard like a savage and going down a 150-foot water slip and slide that I bought. So if you guys want to reach out to me for anything, you can. You can email me, streetcoptraining@gmail.com, or send me a message here on Facebook. I'll try to help you guys out. And for the people who are waiting for a response from me, I'm working on it now. Talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, if you like this video, click the subscribe button below. We're going to put a lot of stuff here on YouTube. You don't want to miss any of this stuff. It's all super valuable and can help you do your job better.